my name's Kayla Box, and I am from Holy Trinity Catholic High School, and my project is worming my way through vermicompost. For my purpose, I thought that worms, waste, soil, and corn plants will vermicompost soil of different organic material grow corn plants differently. For my hypothesis, I thought that the vermicompost soil with celery and apple peels would grow the corn plants most effectively. For my procedure, at first I assembled all my materials. Then I started with the bins. I drilled a hole in the side of the bin and placed a PVC pipe in the side to get the air flowing through. Then I put a layer of soil, a layer of paper, then another layer of soil, and I repeated that for all 5 bins. Once I was done with that, I started with the worms. I had to measure each 30 worms, weigh them as a group, and then put them in the bin. And then I cut up all my food, weighed it, put it in the bin. When I was done with that, I covered all that up with dirt, put some water on it, and they were ready to go to compost for 3 months. But about halfway through, I saw that the pH in the soil was getting low and the worms needed more food. So I cut up more food, I weighed it, and then put it in the bin. When my 3 months were up, I had taken all the worms out, measured them, weighed them, placed them back in the bin. And then I started with the corn. First, I had to label each pot and then put the dirt in the pots. When I was done with that, I had to weigh 3 seed corn, and I had to put them in each pot. And then I placed all those pots in a tray, and I placed it under the grow light. And then I watered them. And then I turned the grow light on for a month. Every day for that month, I watered them and I measured them. And then when that month was up, I had taken the corn out and let it dry. When it was dry, I looked at the roots, made sure they were healthy, and then I measured them and I measured the corn leaves. And I counted the corn leaves. And then I repeated that with another trial and did the same exact thing. And then I came to find out that the average length of the worms, total weight of the worms per bin. So the dark purple is the pre-compost, and you can see for the length of the worms, they were all about the same. And then the light green is the post-compost, and you can see that they were all about the same too for length. But in the weights were all different, but what's crazy is the control was the highest, even though they had no food. For the average longest corn leaf, they were all about the same. The purple is the 30 days when they were growing under the grow light. And the dark green is after I had taken them out, let them dry out, and I measured them. And they're all about the same too, but the apple peels are just a little bit higher than the rest of them. For the average number of leaves per bin, the carrots, apple peels, and celery had the same, but the potatoes were lower, and that makes sense because earthworms don't like composting potatoes. For the average length to longest root, the carrots had the longest, and then the control was after. In conclusion, the data partially supports a hypothesis as the average longest corn leaf measurement for compost bins with apple peels and celery supported the best growth. The control bin was equal in growth for the average longest corn leaf in the celery compost bin.
So what sparked your interest in this research?
Last year for my science project, I tried composting, and I thought it was just interesting to try. And so I wanted to try something new with the thing I had, or the results I had last year, but add something to it by trying to grow food or whatever, just to see if the worms were doing what I thought they were doing, to see if they were healthy in creating that soil for those plants to grow and flourish off of that.
So what further research steps might be done to advance your research?
I would take this outside instead of doing it inside. I would try to do it in a real cornfield. I would do it under the real sun, not a grow light, and just see if that affects anything, because then I could see if the soil is actually affecting it as much as I think it could. Thank you.